The truth is that when you think that you know everything about PRRS, you have PRRS again.
That pig diseases are probably more complex now than before.
Unfortunately, we don't, I think, learn enough. There's a lot of money and research that has been done on PRRS for the last 20 years.
Every day we are learning more and more and more, but every day we know less and less about this disease. We need to work together, speaking about scientific people in the field, farmers.
We really understand that it's something we have to live with.
First, just to be patient, to have patience, because every customer that got the disease on the farm is just thinking that in few days they will just arrive to the former situation, and it's not as this, you know.
We have learned a lot about how to monitor, how to diagnose PRRS. We have learned a lot about how to control PRRS and even how to eradicate PRRS.
We have learned lots of the influence of high strain variation. We have learned that we have to avoid the introduction of new strains, not only in negative herds, but also in herds that are already PRRS positive, a thing we haven't believed before.
And we, as European veterinarians, or Italian like me, we have not the same comfortable situation that many other countries have. I mean that in countries where multiple site production is adopted on a daily basis, the disease is much more easy to be fronted.
We realize now that PRRS is a virus that interacts very strongly with hosts and is able to evade the immune system, is able to change just to persist in the population, and we also know now that the genetic background of the pig has also a role in the evolution of the infection.
We have learned that we've been successful of eradicating the disease in a lot of farms. Unfortunately, we have seen that disease come back and infected those farms after that. We have learned that immunity is important. We have learned that exposed animal or vaccinated animal, although protection is not perfect, when we see disease in those herds, it's a lot less severe than when we're dealing with truly naive herds.
It's like a football match. Before, you have to work in defense to avoid the disease entering, but when you get it, you have to be offensive. You have to keep the ball in the other half of the field.
We have learned as well just to organize teams, just good teams of people to work against the disease, to teach all the management people inside the farm, just to try to solve all kinds of situations that you are managing.
We've been learning a great deal about how the virus is transmitted. That's been one of the areas that I've worked on.
I think the role and the importance of biosecurity has been defined new due to all the research we have done on PRRS.
So a lot of our work in the last 20 years has been on how to prevent the virus from entering the farms, and for that, obviously, we have to learn how it's spread.
I think we've learned a lot about biosecurity. We learned how the virus transmits. We've taken away the easy routes for it to transmit. Now we're working on some of the things like aerosol transmission, air filtration, immunity, genetics, and that's probably the next steps we're going to have to take.
Certainly, even after 30 years, there are still a lot of question marks, and question marks are especially linked to immunology as well as control. Those are probably the two things that we have learned, but we need to learn much more.
In summary, the main lesson is that we cannot think of controlling PRRS but just one single action.
I think that we have learned that up to now, PRRS has the last word.